do the work. Yeah. Do the work. Yeah. Do the work. Yeah. Do the work. Yeah. Okay. Grinding, flex that body, do the work. Rump, thumping, jiving, vibing, flex that body, do the work. Pump, grinding, flex that body, do the work. Rump, thumping, jiving, vibing, flex that body, do the work. Pump, grinding, flex that body, do the work. Rump, thumping, jiving, vibing, flex that body, do the work. Pump, grinding, flex that body, do the work. Rump, thumping, jiving, vibing, do the work. Yeah. Flex that body, do the work. Yeah. Pump, grinding, flex that body, do the work. Flex that body, do the work. Flex that body, do the work. Okay. Pump, grinding, flex that body, do the work. Rump, thumping, jiving, vibing, flex that body, do the work. Yeah. Pump, grinding, flex that body, do the work. Rump, thumping, jiving, vibing, flex that body, do the work. Pump, grinding, flex that body, do the work. Rump, thumping, jiving, vibing, flex that body, do the work. Pump, grinding, flex that body, do the work. Rump, thumping, jiving, vibing, flex that body, do the work. Yeah. Do the work. Yeah. Do the work. Flex that body, do the work. Rump, thumping, jiving, vibing.
What up, fellas? What's good? What's good? There we go. Beautiful. What is going on? Oh, let me turn myself off in my headphones. All right, cool. So you guys can hear me out there? Cool. Much better. So welcome to the show. This is episode number 2 of Long Story Short. This week we have the man's Arnold Lane. They've been making noise for quite some time now, releasing records on everyone from Medium Rare to DIRTYBRID, Box of Cats, Soup, In Rotation, My Techno Weighs a Ton, OKNF, and a whole bunch more. So I'm super stoked to have these guys on the show. Yeah, man. We got actually quite a bit to talk about. It's a perfect week to talk. So we got Arnold and Lane here. Let us know where you guys are crashing at, where you guys are from. Give us the backstory on how you guys met up and Arnold Lane was started.
All right. Well, we're from a town about 30 minutes outside of LA called Westlake Village. It's a suburban, quiet area, but it's close enough to the action, and
no traffic,
which is money. And yeah, just a little background about how we met. We both used to work for this like online vape shop company called E-Cig Avenue, and we worked in the warehouse. So like all we did was
the plug?
Vape and pack and ship orders, and like that's where we met, and like we bonded over we were just talking because like all we did was like,
you like night bass?
Yeah,
I like night bass.
Yeah, it was straight up.
Oh my god!
Oh, you listen to electronic music? You fuck with night bass? Oh, dude, yeah. No, like
can we be best friends?
We just became boys right away. Shout out night bass.
We started living together. Like we just clicked because of that commonality with music. And I've DJ'd for a long time, and Arnie's DJ'd in college, and we both shared a love for electronic music. So we thought it was so great. We thought might as well live together. So we moved in with.
Oh shit! So yeah, you guys actually live together, huh? Now that is a duo. That's how you do it. That's why that's how you guys are spitting out so many fucking records right now.
Yeah. You guys. Well, we've been living together for like almost 5 years now.
Oh
dude.
Shit!
Yeah.
No shit.
We share a bunk bed. Him and his girlfriend are in the top bunk. I'm in the bottom. Living in Westlake is expensive. So
you got to wear earmuffs when you go to sleep.
Yeah. No, but yeah, we lived together for a long time, and like we started making music together. Like we like tried collabing and stuff. Like we were like trying to make like bass music and stuff. Like at first.
Yeah, like random Team Supreme type like beat music, and like we would do this thing where we would lock each other in our rooms, and we would pick a sample, and we would go in our rooms for like a half hour. It was kind of like a beat cipher, and we could see what we created, and then we'd bounce the tracks and share it and
put it on SoundCloud. Yeah, and that's like how we started. Like, I mean, but it wasn't like, it was like together but not together.
It was really bad music, not good.
Well, there's some alright beats in there. But I mean, the house music thing came along just like, I think he made a track and like it got signed.
You're like, I don't like dubstep anymore.
Yeah. Dude, Peekaboo though.
And Peekaboo's dope.
We love Peekaboo.
No, I think I had my phase. I think everyone has that phase. I've done it probably about 14 times, but it started with jungle and drum and bass, and then I found breaks, and then I found that I actually did like house music, and I found that I loved house music, and then I got into like reggae dance hall, and then I got back into like hip hop and mashups, and then back into drum and bass. Yeah, and I got back in the house. So I've been and then Moombahton came, and then
Moombahton.
Yeah, it's like the
actual
black
dubstep. Yeah, it's crazy. But man, I love the story because it's just a fucking great example of how important music is. You know, just in general, just for as human beings, the connectivity that happens, you know, socially, but even to like, whereas like you guys obviously are great friends. I can't live with anyone I've ever lived with. I'll never live with them ever again. but
fair enough.
Just kidding. That might have been harsh. But it sounds like you guys have a cool bond, and I hear it in the music. So that's some dope shit. So man, that like killed a whole bunch of what I was gonna say at the beginning. So now you guys are both producing in Ableton?
Logic and Ableton.
Logic? Cool. That's awesome. That's what golf was too. I like this trend of
the hybrid, right?
The Logic and Ableton homies.
Yeah. You use Logic too, right?
Yeah. And I started using Ableton more recently too, but I've been using Logic for so long that I have trouble finishing songs in Ableton for some reason. So like even if I produce it, I'll bounce it out and then finish it in Logic. I don't even completely know why.
You know, I think it's probably has something to do with the workflow and something like if something translates better in Logic for you because
I'm just way better at it too. So like I'll just like So that's cool. So did you guys you guys been producing together you've been living together and producing together for about 5 years then?
Yeah, together. I've been producing for like 15, maybe going on 15, 18 years.
Hell yeah. Well, I can tell the tunes are sounded fucking dope. I've been playing, I feel like especially since the pandemic where I just been like listening to everything, looking for as much music to play because I'm DJing like 40 hours a week somehow. And like every label you guys seem to have a joint popping up on it. I'm like, oh shit. And seen you guys just did the release with the Soup Homies. And then it was like kind of
guys, huh?
Yeah, shout out Chris Love, Chris Patrick, Andy, all those the New York crew. Though Chris Love was doing parties when I moved to Brooklyn like 17 years ago, and he was running shit. No, actually the first rave I went to in New York City was Stuck on Earth Boo Party. That was a really dating myself, but he threw that. So he's been just like throwing ragers and raves and events before my time.
Oh, geez.
Shout out the Soup guys. So what do you guys have in the pipeline?
Right now we're really just kind of like trying to pull back a little bit because we've been obsessively releasing, trying to like just make our faces known a little bit and our music known. So I don't know. We just thought like the more consistently we release, we'll be able to like climb the ladder and like make a dent a little bit quicker. But now we're trying to consciously like pull back and take a little bit more time sorting out our releases. So
totally,
as of now, forthcoming right now, the only thing is the Holy Molé release this Friday, Them Shoes.
That's a funny one because you guys sent it to me a while ago as a demo, and I didn't realize it. I thought that it was like a release that already came or was about to come out, and I was like, oh man, this is really dope. So I played it in a bunch of my shows, and I just figured it was out, it was coming out on something. And then I hit you guys up. I think I hit you guys a couple of weeks or like a couple months ago, and I was like, yo, you guys got anything you want to use on the Holy Molé comp? And you guys always sent you that tune, and I was like, that's not signed? I thought that came out and like was like signed and shit. So it's like, fuck yeah, I definitely want to put that out. If I So that one comes out Friday. Definitely one of the a big banger that I've been playing on the streams. Even before I even knew it, I literally thought it was coming out on something else. But so
Yeah, you were playing it out, and we got no response. We're like, okay.
yeah, I think I definitely confused that on as a tune that was about to come out, and it was just like a promo email, and I was like, oh shit, it was a demo. But it and then it was meant to be.
Yeah.
So
we're pumped. It's coming out on Holy Moly, man. We've been fans ever since the label started.
Yeah.
We've
thanks,
got
man.
you know, the homies are on there.
So I think I met you guys for the first time, and correct me if I'm wrong, but this was at some taco spot in LA.
Yeah.
Before
Sharkies
with Ashley.
Yeah.
John, our manager, was there, and Ocean and Steady Rock.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was the first time, but I was pretty sure that was the first time we met, and I was like, I think I was there for Day Trip maybe, and then Ashley was playing, Treasure Fingers was playing at
Sayers Club.
Yeah, that's right.
Sayers Club, yeah. Because our boy Ocean Roulette was playing too. Shout out
Ocean.
Yeah.
Shout out Ocean.
And yeah, that's where we first met. Our and I think that's where we met. Was that where we met our manager for the first time too? Or
there was all kinds of people there.
No, there's a bunch of people there.
Yeah, there was all kinds of people there, and I was just like, I was late, and I was like, holy shit, I thought I was just going to meet Treasure Fingers and like a couple people. There's like every producer in Southern California was at the taco spot.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. Arnie and I were fucking like a little starstruck, dude. When we saw some of the.
What was that place called? That was right by Avalon, right?
I don't know.
That place was the taco spot?
Yeah, it wasn't my favorite.
It was Sharkies. It was
Oh yeah, it was Sharkies. Yeah.
It was Sharkies. No, but yeah, it was a little intimidating, yeah, because that was a while ago, and I think we were like just starting to pick up steam, and like it was right around the time where we started meeting people who we really were looking up to, you know,
like industry
people, and like artists who we were like really like were inspiring for us, and like we were like, oh shit, like like it's just wild, you know.
That was a cool little club too. That's what I'm worried about with all this pandemic stuff. You know, the mega clubs obviously are either in big trouble or, you know, that have a sister or parent company that's taking care of them. But that's not very much the case for anything. But especially like the smaller clubs that, you know, were staples in different cities, and something that I'm going to take from last week, that we try not to get too negative or try to focus on any of this stuff, but I think it's really good to talk about, just to figure out like, man, like because I'm out in New York right now, you guys are in LA, it's crazy lockdown over there, right?
Yeah, it's pretty bad out here right now.
At least there's like no nightlife, right?
No nightlife. I mean, you know, Insomniac's been doing their park and rave stuff, which has been pretty cool.
But you can't go to a club.
Yeah, but there's no clubs right now, and I mean, yeah, it's one of those things where none of us know what's gonna really happen. It's scary, man. Like I'm personally a little worried about, you know, I don't want to see some of these great clubs close, I guess.
Yeah, and there's only so much that we can do. But I took Buddha out a long time ago. That was a minute ago. To all the clubs out in New York a minute ago, and he was just like, he brought his camera and Amazura. Oh shit, yeah, that was some wacky Halloween rave. But that stuff is like, oh yeah, the ravers got married. These ravers got married, and like they stopped the rave, and my boy was DJing. And he started playing Jodeci, Let's Get Married. And we were just like, what the fuck is going on here?
Rip it out.
And they did the like change of like Candy, like after they said their vows, like it was pretty beautiful.
Were they high on ecstasy while they got married?
I think that even if you like were just walked in that club, like you just got perspiration of ecstasy. So no matter what, everybody was rolling. Um, so what else? So, you guys have been. We got the Holy Moly release. So you did the release on Soup. You did the release on was it Medium Rare, right?
Yeah.
That was
But
our
those were the
last
two
release,
latest.
Two latest.
I've been playing the
rotation.
shit out of all those records.
Thank you,
Chat
bro.
Crew definitely knows all those records.
Hell yeah, appreciate it.
So on a more shit. So what else do you guys like to do? Obviously, you're great producers and like to make music and DJ and all that stuff, but not music wise. Do you guys have any passions?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, damn, I move all over the place. I mean, like music wise too, like I play instruments like outside of house music. That's kind of where I started. So I like to do that when I'm not making house.
Like what kind of instruments?
Guitar and drums, but recently like I had to put my drum kit in storage, but like I play guitar or
Is that because
like
your roommate was complaining?
no, I had an electric kit, but my girlfriend just moved in recently, so I had to make room for like all her stuff. So, but I play guitar or like, I mean, I play Call of Duty. I've been getting back into like comic book collecting, which is what I used to do when I was like way younger. So I've been like nerding out on that heavily.
What
like,
kind
the
of
past few
comic
weeks.
books are you? I have the whole the death of Superman all sealed up.
Oh
and like
shit!
my parents or my mom and my dad gave it to me when I was a kid. When I was probably like 7 or 8, about when it came out, dating myself, and then they didn't want me to open it. They're like, it's gonna be worth way more money if you don't open it. So I just never.
Bro.
And I was just like, I wanted to. It's worth
Yeah,
like
you want to read it?
it's worth fucking like $8 now.
Yeah,
It's not worth any.
crazy. It's such a
Hey,
crazy
save it
market.
for another 30 years. We'll see.
Dude, I mean, like, what I'm in, I see like that kind of stuff has always like been like part of like my childhood. Like, my dad used to work with Marvel and like
Oh,
Stan
shit.
Lee and stuff. So like,
What did he
into-
do?
He was like a TV producer. So he
Shit.
worked on like one like this. It was like the first Marvel like TV movie. It was now it's probably like not that good. At the time it was pretty cool. It's called like Generation X, but that's what he did with Marvel, and
Oh,
then
shit.
he moved on from that. But like, I mean, as a result, he'd been collecting comic books for years and years. So like, I mean, he had like everything, like all the Spider-Man and all that shit. And so like that's where like my like comic book love comes from, and like that's what I want to continue to collect is like the Marvel stuff. So I've been like going back and like on eBay and shit obsessively.
Do you ever
Like,
collect Marvel cards, the playing cards?
I just recently got back into this stuff recently, so
Well,
I'm
again,
just
that's another
restarting.
thing. There used to be a baseball card shop at the top of the street that I grew up on, and I started buying Marvel cards, and they had these, and I always wanted to figure out. This is like what the card. They were like holograms.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I
So
remember those cards.
They would have, and they were just still to this day like just the sickest looking cards, and maybe that's why I went on Amazon and bought every single kind of bugged out eyeball hologram glasses that I could a couple weeks ago.
Hell yeah.
And I'm like, maybe that's where all that whole connection comes from, because I was just obsessed with those, getting the whole set of Marvel cards, and those fucking hologram cards were so sick.
And the
What about
hologram Pokemon cards and shit? Those
Yeah.
were so sick back when we were little.
Yeah.
what about you familiar with Robert Crumb?
No, I've never heard
So-
of Robert Crumb.
Yeah, Robert Crumb makes like perverted like comics back in the 70s, but like super perverse, and they do all kinds of like speed and weird stuff, and like it's like X-rated comics that I wasn't supposed to see, and that my dad used to have those comics. My dad, great artist, could draw really really well, and that's how he was like. That's how I learned. That's how he said he learned how to draw, was from drawing like Mad Magazine comics, and then I found like these stashes of these dirty X-rated comics that I used to read when I was like really young. But they weren't like X-rated where it was like sex comics. It was just like
crude and like
like dudes just
Yeah.
doing
That's it.
crazy. Yeah, it's twisted.
yeah,
Like Sin City shit.
Yeah, heavy metal, exactly. Just like the heavy metal shit and all
heavy
that.
metal magazine. Yeah, that's
Spawn, dude.
Spawn. That's
Spawn
a
was
sick
dope.
one.
My
Spawn was
favorite
dope.
old one was Unknown Soldier, which I don't think anyone even knows who that is. Have you ever seen any of the Tom Penny skateboard? You know, if you guys familiar with skateboarding or Tom Penny? Like all his
Yeah,
boards,
dude.
he would have the Freak Brothers on it and all these Robert Crumb dudes on it and stuff. Anyway, super long tangent.
I used to fuck with too. Like I remember seeing when I was a kid, and I probably shouldn't have been reading these, but like the old Tales from the Crypt, like EC comic stuff, where it's just like gnarly, gory, like
Tales from the
like these gnarly stories with like, and they're like sexually explicit. And like I was like 10, like reading it, like oh my god, like
I remember
out.
watching those on HBO too, back when that was
show
like
sick.
all the nudity that in my generation, that's where you got your nudity from. You couldn't go on like your cell phone or your internet or whatever. It was like HBO, late night.
Cinemax.
Yeah, maybe it's an R-rated and it's like brief nudity, or like you get the nudity warning in the beginning and it's like, oh shit, this might be a good one.
Yeah. You like
Score.
pause it, like tripping out.
Re-
and shit.
reminiscing.
no.
Man, I could actually go on that tangent for a while, but let me find so you guys, oh, you know what else I wanted to ask you about? I saw you guys did a show in Texas. How did that go?
Oh, the socially distanced one?
Yeah.
That show, that was an interesting show. It was a really cool show.
Because I know
Taylor-
good people put that on, and like I know that's like a respectable spot, and I know Texas is
Yeah.
just kind of like every weekend they just never lock down, just like Florida, and those are where all my offers have been coming, is from Texas and Florida, and I haven't bit on any of those just because I have so much going on with the streams, and then also I see my grandmother who's about to be 90 years old, and like
Yeah, you got to be careful, man.
It's
So-
definitely temperamental for sure.
So, but I was like, I'm not doing anything until 2021, and now I'm like, and I'm kind of scared too. Like on where I'm just like, man, I don't really know if I want to get, like, even if at the very least I couldn't smell or taste something for a month, I would just be like, that would suck, you know. And that's like, you know, it could be a lot worse than that, but I think that there's this it's worth talking about, because you know there's people that are losing, you know, there's two sides of it. There's people that are the clubs, all the people that work for the clubs, all the the people that doing management, or the agencies, all of this. We've just taken such a crazy hit and toll, and it's like getting on a motherfucking year now, which is just fucking crazy. It's about to be a year of just
keep going,
this.
too.
It's gonna keep going, and it's like, I was just, I guess, more wondering like what the vibe at something like that is, and like what how the experience was for you guys.
Well, I ended up actually doing that one solo because Taylor had to work, and just like it didn't, just logistically it wasn't working out for both of us to go. And you know, I will say like it was safe, and it was socially distanced, and like vibe wise, it was definitely, I mean, it felt good to be back on a stage for sure, but like
It's
it was
probably way
really hard.
different. You have no one.
It was really hard to like, you know, when you're playing like a packed club, you can read the vibe of a room and like know like, okay, this track is not hitting, like switch up the vibe. But like because everyone's all spread out, like I couldn't
It's hard to
gauge
get a
anything.
read. Yeah.
And so like I'd look out and like people are all spread out and like I
It
couldn't,
looks like
like
an empty club.
yeah,
huh?
I couldn't
Yeah.
tell if like people were vibing with it. And like there was one, I remember there was one track that like fucking blew up, but like it was actually Bruno Furlan, like Sally VIP. I remember people were tripping the fuck out on that one. And I was like, but all the other tracks they're playing, I was like, I can't really see like what it just, because everyone's spread out, you can't like vibe off, the energy wasn't, you know, there. But I mean, it was still fun. Like it felt good to get back on the stage, and like the people who were on that lineup, which were all on the same team as Luke Andy and Sizak.
Hell yeah.
And it, you know, it was good to
Shout
be
out
like
Luke, Andy, and Sizak.
yeah, it was good to be with our brothers, you know, like because those guys that we're really tight with, and it just was good to be out. But you know, it's scary. You know, I was definitely tripping about getting COVID. I hadn't been on a plane. And like I was on the plane, I was like,
I hear
fucking
from a lot of people that it's really safe. The plane. I've heard actually mixed stories. I've heard that it's just super safe, and they, you know, there's so much airflow going on in a plane that it's supposed to keep it clean or whatever, or whatever. But like, I also heard from a friend of mine who was coming back from Florida from the past holiday and said that, and ended up getting COVID, but it hasn't had any symptoms. Just tested positive. Hasn't had any symptoms, but it was like they weren't taking any temperatures. Nobody like had to take a test to get on the flight. And I mean, I got some homies that I don't think that they tell anybody that they're flying anywhere, but then I'll see on Instagram and they're going all over the place, and they've been fine too. So man, that's the scariest thing about this is it's like going to Las Vegas, but you're like risking your life and other people's lives.
Yeah.
It's just like gambling. It's such a crazy thing, but it's also, what are you gonna do? We gotta live. We gotta like, I don't know. I don't want to go too far into that, but
Yeah, it's very controversial for sure.
well, it's real though. Like
Yeah.
it's we had like a scare, you know, and it like really like brought it home. Like we need to be careful. Like it's no joke, you know.
Yeah.
Like we need to be
Especially our
safe.
jobs. We work in healthcare, and it's just like not the business, you know. So we need to be responsible, and that's like our first priority right now.
yeah, hell yeah. That's admirable.
Yeah.
All right, and to just completely switch it up. So this is a question that I decided I wanted to start asking everybody. It's a personal question, and I don't know if do you guys share a bathroom?
We don't.
No.
Okay, well, so then I gotta
Arnie-
ask it twice then.
Arnie
So
uses mine all the time. now.
I do.
it happens. I know the roommate deal. What's the weirdest thing that you have in your bathroom?
Oh,
Well, you go first. I have to think.
I think probably so. If you go into my shower and you like look on the wall, there's these like
I need to get drum rolls for this one.
there's like these, you know, like the face beads that people like to put on their face, like they stick on their face.
No, what beads are those?
Where they're like,
You know,
jewels.
like the jewel stickers that people at raves
Jewel
will like
stickers.
bejewel
Oh,
themselves.
got you. I
with.
got you. I
Like,
got you. I
yeah.
got you.
So I think my like an ex stuck those to the wall in my shower, and I haven't even taken them down, and that was like 2 years ago. Probably the weirdest thing.
Okay.
I should probably take them off.
I think
That sounds
weirdest-
cool.
It's like a souvenir.
I'm like trying to think of the weirdest thing. Like I said, I live with my girlfriend, so I guess like what's weird for me is like I had like your typical dude's bathroom, you know, just like I mean, it wasn't a mess, but like it just
It wasn't the cleanest. Yeah.
Yeah, and like now there's just pink shit everywhere.
And lots of products.
Surprisingly, most of the products are mine.
Oh shit. Hell yeah, I like it.
But I mean, there's nothing. I guess there's like, I'm trying to think.
What
I have like some like stupid motivational quote that I like bought, and like
What
I've
does
had
it
that.
say?
It's like have faith, not fear, or something. I don't know. It's not stupid, but
Nah.
like it's
That sounds like that sounds like you don't have faith. The way you said it.
yeah. I mean, I go in and out sometimes. So,
We all do. We all do.
yeah.
I see. I thought
Not
maybe
stupid,
you
though.
guys shared one, and then you were gonna be like, "Yo, dude, you got this fucking like
Just blaming
weird
each other.
thing."
Yeah.
But you guys are better roommates than I thought. Props.
I know, we're boring.
So a big part of the reason why I've been streaming, the reason besides just like the whole music industry collapsing, it's really easy to just go on and on. Like last week, 2 weeks actually at Christmas morning, my house flooded, and then it almost flooded again after my 9-hour stream, and I was like outside shoveling. Like, what are ways for you guys, or do you have any tips on keeping a positive mentality during fucked up ass shit like a pandemic for a year?
Yeah.
Like,
For
how do
us,
you keep your head? How do you keep yourself level?
I don't know. It was really hard in the beginning. Like we felt like it was like our golden hour in terms of releases, like with Dirty Bird and stuff. And like we had so much momentum that we just got crushed emotionally. And kind of we were like in a kind of a bad place. But we realized like we just got to hold through the storm, and it's the best time to create. It's the best time to learn more things about like software or about the craft, and also like paying attention to things like outside of music, kind of taking our head outside of music and not being so obsessive about it, and getting outside. um going on
Man,
hikes.
those are all great. But before you even go, like those are all great. Like especially the not, and I'm terrible with this. Is not just being obsessed and stuck in music world, because no matter how big or how small you are, it always goes and
Yeah, in
dips and
waves.
yeah. So like if that's all that you're doing all the time, then you're just going to be on a roller coaster forever. So it's almost like you need to be able to, like, for a couple of years, like I didn't watch TV or do shit, but just I was just either in the studio. I didn't have a proper a girlfriend or anything. I just wrote tunes, woke up. That was even before I was really DJing out as much as I was hoping to be. And like, man, it almost makes it's like you do it because you enjoy making music and it's fun to make music and you love making music, but then eventually it turns into, it's like, man, this is like a weird job that's like obsessively just kind of taken over everything in my life, and now I don't even know. I haven't went outside yet in a couple days.
Yeah.
It's like
Well,
like
it's-
that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and the cool thing about COVID too, I guess, like just in a sense of like bringing it back, is like right before COVID is like when we started to pick up on touring, and it was becoming an every weekend thing, and like I was, this is just me personally, but I was like losing focus on like, I wasn't talking to my family as much. I didn't get to spend as much time with my girl. And like with COVID, like I've been able to be more present in everyone's life, like as a friend, as a partner, with my family, like I've been able to get closer with my mom, like stuff like that. And, like when you're touring all the time and doing music all the time, like, I mean, it's easy to fall away from that, It's not like intentionally you're doing that. It's just like, so it's been like and like that helps, like I think too, with like overall mood and just like feeling more connected to like the people you love. And I mean, like we've been just trying to stay positive, but it's also like its own roller coaster because like Taylor was saying, like at first, like it was like crushing, like I think for everyone. I think there was a good like month where we did not make any tunes. Like we maybe like we were playing a lot of Call of Duty
Yeah,
or
we were
just
like, fuck
not
this.
doing anything. And like that was, but I think everyone went through that. And
I'm
like,
still going through that.
yeah,
I'm still
and
going through it.
but like the reality of it is like music's not going anywhere. Well, this shit is not going to be around forever. So like it's also been a good opportunity, like Taylor said, to like hone in on our craft and really take time on like learning these tools. And like I think personally, like just as producers, we've grown a lot just through COVID and having the time to like to put more time in as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And not being resorted to like just one day a week to making beats. Like we have like more time to like really sit and like learn. And
Yeah, it was really gnarly though because we were scheduled to play. We won the Discovery Project and we were scheduled to play Beyond Wonderland, and that shit got canceled
Shit, man.
real quick,
That's such a
dude.
fun festival too. Yeah, that's like that fucking
Yeah, and that's like a dream, like since day one, like freaking 20 years ago, like frothing out the mouth kind of dream, you know?
yeah,
Well, I
And
think
like,
that you guys are making it plenty of noise and stuff, and like that opportunity is gonna be waiting for you when you guys get back, and that's why I've been trying to be really adamant about telling, especially good friends that are DJs and producers. It's like, you know, you got to find a way to take advantage, of still holding a presence besides just putting out music. And like streaming is kind of just this, like, randomly we got 50 people that we're just hanging out with on a Tuesday night, so it's like just such a weird way to tap into everyone. Shout out the couple more crew.
yeah.
But it's also like even just this, like, if I came to LA to play a show, maybe we'd be able to kick it at Sharky's for a minute or something, and like, but I wouldn't be able to like ask you about like what do you have in your bathroom or like all that kind of stuff. Like, so
Yeah.
there is a silver lining, and I want to touch on what you were saying before about reconnecting with family and friends, and that's something that I really, really personally, I've been on and off touring for the past almost decade, and I've missed, especially on those runs when it's like, oh man, all these shows are happening. Like I've like missed like best friend, like one of my best friends. Something still to this day regret is missing my best friend's bachelor party, and
dude, I
for
the
a
same
show, and like,
same thing happened to me, bro. I bailed on my boy's bachelor party because we had to get.
and to be honest, this helps. This, no matter how fucked up this COVID shit is, it helps put things in perspective, because it's understandable, because you're like, yo, I've worked so hard to have this, and the show sucked too, the one that I played, and I was just like, fuck, I can't believe that. I even hit him. I was like, yo, dude, what do you think I should do? And he's like, well, what do you want to do? And he was also an artist too, so he was understanding. But I was just like, personally felt, and he didn't take any offense to it, but I just still to this day, and this was probably 7 or 8 years ago, and I still regret it. But it like things like that, it's like, and you also got to pay. There's like, you got to pay your bills. Now nobody's paying any bills with shows, so it's also like, oh man, who knows? It's just a crazy, crazy time, and I think that's so important to connect with your friends and your family. And I was in Brooklyn land for so many years, and I moved back to be close to my family halfway through the COVID stuff, and it's the best thing I've ever done. I'm just like, I can't believe I didn't do this earlier, but I couldn't. I couldn't because the airport situation, because all this stuff. So like, it almost like I probably never would have moved back, but it forced me to, and I'm really really stoked on it. So there's nothing more important than your family and your friends and fucking word. What
Well,
else
no,
is? Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say what else too. The silver lining with COVID. This is like geared toward producers and stuff too. Is like everyone's at home, right? So like, there's a lot of these like big labels that it was. I feel like it was difficult to get your music heard by some of these labels because everyone was out touring, and now everyone's at home. So like the
It's
opportunity for
opportunity.
all the artists right now is insane. Like especially like that's I feel like we've gotten a lot of luck through COVID just because of that. You know what I mean? Like stuff like with Dirty Bird, like our stuff was able to get heard, and it's crazy. Like, and I feel like that should be like motivation for producers because like this is going to go away, COVID, hopefully, for the best, but it's also a good opportunity to get your stuff out and heard by people who might not have as much time, like we do now.
I have a question though. Do you think like 'cause some of our best releases came out during COVID? Now there's two different theories that if you release during COVID,
Harmonic, thanks for the biddies.
all the tunes are just going to be forgotten. Do you think it'll translate till after COVID? Like,
I mean, if it's consistency. So that's the thing is like I think that's what all of us were worried about in the beginning of it was, like I slowed the label down. I just didn't go near a studio for a couple months. Like I was, and also like my roommate had COVID, so I didn't even go back to my apartment for. It was just wild, and like I had all these releases lined up, and then I just pushed them all back, and I had all these tunes done too, and I just kind of pushed them all back until finally I'm like, yo, I gotta start putting out. I can't just like stop putting out music, and that was about when I caught the streaming bug too, and I was like, okay, so now, I can I could still promote and push the label and my music, and then also now it's like I can really actually focus on pushing music that I like, that usually you just hear me at a club and I play a bunch of records and that's it, but now it's like I'm playing for these people. They could be anywhere from like 50 to I don't even know what the most I played for on Twitch, but there's such a level of reach where, to answer your question, it just has to keep being consistent.
yeah,
And even now, like I'm kind of at the same point with you guys, where it's like I kind of put things off for a minute, and then it was like boom, like had releases coming out every month basically, and now I'm like, shit, I want to have music ready for when I go back on tour and shit, and all that stuff. So
that's what we're trying to do right now, is stockpile a little bit more.
it's so hard though, and like something that you said, you're like, oh, our best music came out earlier, and who was saying it? I seen some producer talking, and he was like, I think it was Kenny Beats, and he does like trap beats and hip hop beats and beats for people, and he's like, which is funny because he was a homie when he was in Loud Pack. We had the same agent back in the day on AM Only, and then went separate paths, and now he's like this huge producer guru and like mega Twitch streamer. And like I see that fool has like 2K, like right now he's streaming right now. He's got 2.3K people just watching him talk shit. And like but he's a producer, but this, long story short, he said that you should never and this is, if a rapper asks you for beats, you should always give him your best beat, because you should always go back in and make another beat that's even better than your last beat. So like always give people that are asking for your beats your best beat. And somehow I was going to connect it to this, but I'm realizing that didn't really even make as much sense. But fucking a little nugget from Kenny Beats.
But it's true though, you know, like you make a track and it's your dopest track, your next track has to be better than the last track. Like that should be like your goal, you know? So
For
that,
sure.
that makes 100% sense. But
What else? What you got? Anybody in the chat? You guys got any questions to ask the fellas over here? I haven't really been paying attention to the chat like I should. Been deep in
Someone asked
conversation.
a random question for all three of you. What style of music that you've done has the fattest, most prominent bass line? That's a very random question.
bad it probably, I mean, hip hop and hip hop.
Bad
Probably.
as bad meaning good, not bad meaning bad.
Or the the fattest.
Oh, fattest.
Yeah, the fattest, most prominent bass lines. I mean, I think hip hop and house.
Roller dub.
Yeah, roll it, dub, deep dub.
Yeah. That Ghetto Blaster track.
Shout out Ghetto Blaster in the chat too.
Yeah.
Shout out Ghetto Blaster.
We used to play that out every single day. And every time someone would come up, what is this rock? Tweak that 303.
Yep, Tweak the 303 Ghetto Blaster. It's one of the fattest bass lines ever, dude.
Hell yeah. Okay, so how about DJ travel tips? Do you guys have any tips or any things that you do?
Oh, Gold Bond.
Gold Bonds.
For your balls.
Oh.
Straight up.
For the balls, aka swamp ass.
Straight up, dude. It's a lifesaver.
We swear by that.
And for me, Imodium, like I have a sensitive stomach, so that saves my ass like flying.
No pun.
Literally.
Literally, yeah. So like Imodium for me, and I don't know, like a good travel tip is try and pack everything into a carry-on.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
Yeah, wet wipes for sure.
Oh, wet wipes.
Tommy.
Yep, wet wipes.
Gum.
What are some of your favorite ways to make sounds?
Favorite? Like through music production or making weird noises?
In any way, yeah, music or like fart sounds with your mouth. No, music. Yeah. Like, let's say, how about what kind of software do you like making your tunes with? Oh shit, we got a raid from DIRTYBRID.
Hey, shout out DIRTYBRID.
Hey, DIRTYBRID, what's up?
Perfect timing.
Hell yeah.
So,
yeah.
DIRTYBRID crew, you guys are just tuning in. We got Arnold and Lane. These guys are going to be dropping a set tomorrow on DIRTYBRID on the Couple More show. About the same time. Just so yeah. So what? Let's say what synths or what are you guys using in your production tool belt? As far as like soft synth, or do you guys use analog equipment? What do you guys use?
We got the Novation Peak right here. I just copped this thing.
We started using the Electron analog rhythm drum machine. Pretty tight.
What is it? What's it called?
It's like called the Analog Rhythm by Electron. It's pretty crazy drum machine.
Gnarly drum.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
I have the TR-AS, but in the box, use a lot of silent, a lot of serum, massive. Yeah. What is the Rolling Cloud synths?
Yeah, the Rolling Cloud synth. Arturia. The Arturia bundle is really dope.
Yeah.
Ghetto Blaster says, "Would you guys ever do an alias with your first names?" Oh, that's what I didn't ask you guys. So that kind of just gave it away. So what? Where did the name come from?
Dude, it started out with the first track. So we like signed this first track. It's kind of a shitty house track, but at the time we thought it was really cool, and we needed to think of a name really quick for the contracts and for publishing.
Because he got signed with that, we didn't even have an artist name.
Oh shit!
So we were like, it was like trying to figure out, like we're like, what about this? What about that? And then it was just like, well, what about Arnold and Lane? Like it's simple. Like Fuck it.
No one
Couldn't
else
have-
has it.
Yeah, and I don't know. A lot of our inspirations come from like and artists like Walker and Royce, like
Rock and Fitz.
Rock and Fitch.
Hell yeah, Walker and Royce. Shout out Rocker and Royce and Proc and Fitch. What else? You got any the chat? You guys got any more questions out there?
You know, it's funny. Arnold and Lane sounds like a realtor company or like a bank.
It works though. I like it. I dig it.
Arnold and Lane, really?
Someone asked which you guys would live stream your producing. Maybe one day we'll get into that. Someone at Omega Terry asked, how's the pandemic been for you guys? Will you tour a little less and do more streaming after it's over? That's a good question.
No, we're after it's over. We like for bass lines, just anywhere between silent, like we said before, massive. Arnie has this secret tom that he uses a lot. It's like, what is it? It's like a tom that you bring into your effort.
Yeah, so for some of our tracks, some of the more like, I think some of the Dirty Bird like booty stuff we made, I use this tom,
The secret tom.
and I found it in a sample pack. It was just a random sample pack. It was the last tom in the kit. Threw it into the sampler, Ableton sampler, and like messed with the pitch envelope. And I was just like, this is the dopest. This is the dopest 808 bass
fact.
I've ever heard in my life.
Never fail.
And use it on 90% of the tracks.
There it is, folks. The secret.
So like, that's like a tip too, is like just throwing, like toms are great for bass lines, especially
pitch
like,
it down.
if you pitch
especially in
it
house
down,
music.
especially in house music, especially
Yeah.
that Dirty Bird vibe too.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we would like to get into more hardware. Ghetto Blaster. We got Novation Peak. We have the Moog 37, TR8S, and
Oh, the analog rhythm. What's the most embarrassing thing you've witnessed living with each other?
oh my god, dude!
That one's better. That's better than the bathroom one. Uh-oh, they're not going to be living together after this one.
We've both heard each other having sex with people.
Maybe even having sex by yourself too, huh?
Yo, what are you doing? Nothing.
I
Leave
don't
me
know.
alone.
You know, I don't know, man. We've been best friends for so long that like I don't think there's stuff that we do that like
We're so
embarrasses each other
we're so
anymore.
desensitized.
Like at this point, I mean, like
You guys are
it's like-
brothers.
Yeah,
It's like
basically.
if the outside world like
Oh,
came
dude.
into our apartment and saw some of this shit,
Dude.
that like
It'd be bad.
it'd be bad.
This is as
but-
close as they're going to get right here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're in our apartment.
Yeah, you know, but yeah, I mean, like we're just tight to the point where like someone will do something stupid, we just laugh about it.
I love that. Tom Reed said, romance yourself. I've never even thought about that like that.
Romance yourself.
That's a nice way of putting it.
He's turning red.
Ghetto Blaster, Zach has caught him shaving his back. That's hilarious.
Apple Country says, when's a Hot Codes and Arnold Lane track coming? So if we did do that, what would we call it? Codes and Arnold and Lane? If you guys,
Oh,
if you guys
Codes,
do,
Arnold and Lane.
or Codes X,
Yeah,
Arnold,
Codes X
Arnold
Arnold
Lane.
play.
that's I always wondered how, if you already have an and in there, is there two ands? Because that would,
I think you just put a comma, don't you?
but then you would, if you put a comma, then you'd have to put a comma after the Arnold too, no?
Not. Well, if it's two artists, isn't it
Codes
just-
Arnold. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, like
I'm
if
just
we actually made. Oh, if we were like one group.
I'm totally just kidding.
You all should do the X.
Truth and Lies. What up, homie?
What up, Truth and Lies? The Oxford.
Been liking their tunes lately.
Shit.
Why we use the X instead of the N?
You know, sometimes publishing fucks up the ampersand sign. And
Oh yeah, that's a lot of shit does that.
oh,
For
no.
Spotify fucked that up for a minute too.
Here's a good question here in the chat. Smallest crowd you ever DJ'd for on the come up? You know what? We've had a lot of
Cringeworthy
like
parties.
small shows. And like that's just part of the name of the game. And I mean
Yeah.
it's like hard, dude. Sometimes on the come up, you know, you're playing to an empty room.
You know,
There's-
I started as a mobile DJ and do a lot of private parties and stuff. And I mean, I've seen every kind of party, weddings, bar mitzvahs.
I mean that happens with everybody too. It's like, you know,
Yeah.
and that's something that we don't. It's kind of crazy now. Even when you're talking about the Austin show, I was thinking like, the crazy thing is, I'm doing that like at least every Friday and Wednesday, but I'm DJing for nobody in this
Yeah.
room, where it's like the only thing I have to go off of is the chat,
Mhm.
and you
It's
can't
weird.
see
You don't
them.
get into it as much.
Well, I think that's where I've just forced I just don't even. You almost have to just to be happy as a touring DJ or a streaming DJ. You have to still be able to have a good time, whether there's nobody, like when you're streaming, or if there's like a socially distanced party, or like fucking
Yeah.
5 people or 10 people.
Yeah, we definitely had a difficult time with that.
Luckily we have each other to entertain ourselves,
Yeah.
though. So just some of the banter, you know, that goes on. Like
See,
when
I'm
we do
jealous. I've
something.
always been jealous. That's why I always wanted it, like an older brother or something too, because I just like I've always had a younger sister, and I just would I went from like teasing her till when she was in like school with me. Then I was like, nobody fucks with my sister, I'll fucking kill you. And
Yeah.
like, so it was like, I tortured her for the first half of her life. And then I was like, I'll kill you if you touch my sister, for like, once we got older. But like, I've never been in a production duo. I've never like, I think that's something that I've never experienced before. And I'm envious of it a little bit, just because of that, being able to be like, dude, what do you see how crazy what's going on right now? Usually I'm just in my head like, what the
Yeah.
either really good or really bad. Like, holy shit, there's so many people here, or like, holy shit, did you see what that person just did in the green room? And it's
Yeah.
like but
It's definitely nice to share it with someone.
Yeah. It makes it more fun, dude.
Yeah.
totally
If it's
totally
your boy, you know, it's like we get excited, you know, you get excited about something. Fucking, we're at work, we're like calling each other, like, yo, like, it's crazy what's happening right now. Or
we
like,
could share the excitement. That's we. I mean, it was. I mean, we had some troubles in the earlier on, like hard to find the synergetic system where we're both on the same page. And but as long as we're communicating and we're honest with each other, it goes well. You know?
it's just like any relationship.
yeah,
The production process was really hard for us in the beginning. I remember.
yeah, we like barely could collaborate.
Yeah, it was weird. Like we would both make our own tunes and then kind of release it under Arnold Lane. Luckily, we found a system that really works.
Hell yeah. What is that something that is shareable? Your system?
Yeah. Well, what the system?
Like collaborating.
No, yeah, like your formula for making tunes.
Yeah, we just
Well,
do the switch off thing. Really.
Yeah, like what, like usually, like I'll like run it down. Like, let's say there's a day that we're gonna work together, because we work separate sometimes. You know what I mean? Like there's times where we work separately, but like we always try and work together on the weekends. And when we sit to like work on a song together, like it'll usually start with like me making like the drums and like the arrangement, maybe the bass line, and then like Taylor will come in and work on like top end synths or vocals, or you know, effects, and then we kind of like once the meat of the track is built, then we'll switch off like mixing or
I love
effects,
it.
little bells and whistles, and like that's kind of we eventually got in the groove with that. But at first it was difficult. But now it's like just it's been that system for I mean what like 2 years almost a year and a half we've been
Yeah.
working like that
Yeah.
when we make tunes together.
Hell yeah.
Someone asked if we both work on the same DAW.
So all of our collaborations are in Ableton, but we, like Arnie works in Ableton, but I'll work my own projects in Logic. And
Hell yeah.
But it's a pretty like we've streamlined it, and we both have our own way of working too when we work solo.
Well, Ghetto Blaster, I wonder, I'm guessing this is Paul, but we are a duo too, and one of our struggles is one of us farts, the other has to eat it even worse with masks.
dude, Arnie and I blow each other up all the time.
It's just part of the game, dude.
Yeah.
Shit. Well, man, there was, so what about food?
Ooh.
Yeah, so what's your favorite, each of your favorite foods? Do you guys share a favorite food? Is there Arnold and Lane like favorite food to eat? Yeah, I knew. What is it?
Yeah, there is.
Couple things. We got a couple things. One,
Just a couple more
burger.
burgers. We're big burger boys.
2, boba.
Boba.
The tea,
Yeah, that's our therapy. The boba tea with the
the little plastic pieces in it.
exactly. We love that shit. Savagely drink it and like a second.
Someone asked pizza or tacos.
Burritos.
I go with pizza. Italian's one of my favorites. Who does more cooking? Taylor definitely does more.
Boba is fire.
Someone asked, what's the most what's the craziest thing that happened during a DJ set? I was DJing at it was like the secret place, but there was a girl, she was doing her glow stick spinning on rope, and she was spinning them really fast, let me tell you. And she does this one spin and flies off of the string, smashes me right in the
Wait, where?
Cody's property.
Oh, the Sacred Village?
Yeah. Fuck, I started bleeding out the mouth.
Oh shit! You were bleeding from a glow stick.
Oh yeah, dude. Nearly knocked me out.
I've always been like when I walk past or through that, I'm like always worried about it. But I've never been glocked in the face though, and especially.
Dude, tell Arnie has to tell his
the
story.
craziest thing that was the gnarliest.
You almost threw.
Okay, so this is the gnarliest thing that's ever happened to me. It was like one of our first biggest shows, right? I had a bad stomachache. We get there, I'm fine. All of a sudden, boom, hit. I almost shit my pants, dude. It was in a warehouse in downtown LA, just like a warehouse. So there's like barely any bathroom.
Definitely no toilet paper. Maybe not even doors on the stall.
So like that's happening. And like I cut the line for the girls' bathroom. I was just like, sorry, like I'm DJing right now, so I gotta go.
That never works.
And then so on top of that, then it's time to play. And I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but we have to do it. It was like a pretty big gig.
Yeah.
And so we get up on stage and I just eat shit. Face goes right into the monitors, like break my glasses. And this is like
Did you go to the bathroom already?
Yeah, it already.
Okay,
I made
so
it.
well, if you didn't, maybe you would have shit your pants on stage.
I might have shit
and
my pants right there. And this is where someone just wrote Imodium in the chat, and like this is where the Imodium started to come into play, is like to prevent that from happening. But
he figured it out. He hacked the system. Yeah, dude. Arnie freaking fell off the stage and comes up all disheveled with his fucking glasses broken.
And I had a
Oh my
big lump,
god.
like a big lump on my forehead, and like
There was no tape, dude. There was no like.
yeah, you couldn't. So
couldn't
like
see the
you
end of
couldn't
the
see.
stage.
Like there was a big LED screen, and
That's
then
the
like
problem with playing warehouses is it's like you
Yeah.
can't be like, yo, what the fuck? I can't see
Yeah.
anything.
Anything goes. Anything goes. But we ended up playing a good set. So.
it was a dope. Yeah, it was a good set.
But
But
Arnie had to leave early. He Ubered home.
I
all the way
Ubered.
from-
I Ubered home from Koreatown.
And I
or
was chasing
something.
some girls, so I stayed.
Me and my girl like took like a $70 Uber back. But that was the craziest thing that happened to me apart. And then another crazy thing I've seen that I always get a kick out of, like one time like we were at another warehouse gig and we were DJing and this one guy was all fucked up and he was like reaching over, the booth
Oh, yeah.
and like
This is when
messing with the like mixer, and then our manager just fucking comes out of
like
nowhere.
the Terminator,
Yeah,
bro.
just like
With the
boom, and he's
le-
like, "Get the fuck out of here!" And we were just all like, "Oh shit, this is crazy!" Because like he's
Shout
like,
out John Hamlin.
shout out John, because he's like the nicest guy, and we're all like,
Our protector.
But you
got
fuck
all
with his
turned.
artists, and if you fuck with the
Dude,
horns, you get the bull.
witches,
Or you fuck with the bull, you get the horns.
He's crazy. What about you, Cody? What's the you have
Man, I don't even know. I feel like anything that I say, I'm gonna get myself in trouble somehow. I do remember in Columbus, Ohio, somehow I was headlining this big thing with Breakage before. This was like 8 or 9 years ago, and I had been in South by Southwest for like a week. This was my first, I think it was my first or second South by Southwest, and Slow Roast Records had just started. And I just slept in this little hotel room with Craze and Kill the Noise, and we just had a fucking awesome time, but nobody slept. And for some reason, I booked this like wicked early ticket to leave the next day. And I didn't. Instead of going back to the hotel room, I just went to the airport and I just sat there. Long story short, I go to Ohio. I've been up all night long. I slept in the airport a little bit. I was in Austin, so I just remember falling asleep and like hearing Stevie Ray Vaughan like play the same song like every 30 minutes. It was just on a loop and like outside. And I go to Ohio. What were the Cumulus? Shout out to the Cumulus guys, and get there. And this was when I used to drink vodka too. I don't drink vodka anymore. And like vodka and Red Bull, that was on my rider. And right away, like I ended up going out to dinner with this dude who just, I don't think it was Halloween, but he just shaved his head and he looked exactly like Mr. T, and he had a big Mr. T on, gold chain on. He took me to eat. And then the venue was like 45 minutes from the hotel. So we went to go, they're like, do you want to do sound check? And I was like, I was planning on going to the hotel and just sleeping. He took me to sound check. We drove mad far, drove all the way back. I ate, was right about to, like, fell asleep for like 1 second and woke up and like, all right, we got to go. We get all the way there. This is when I used to use Tractor too. And right when we get there, I was just like, oh, dude, I forgot my Tractor records. So we had to fly as fast as possible, 45 hours back. I just barely got there for my set and drank a ton of vodka while I'm DJing. By the end of my set, completely blacked out. I don't have any idea. I don't remember any of it. But there's pictures of me standing up on the turntables and like I'm like no recollection. And then all of a sudden I'm like puking in the back into this garbage can. And I'm like, oh shit, man, what the fuck? And then I go up to the promoter. It was his birthday. I felt really bad. He was DJing. It was this huge like theater place. I like hit him on the back of his leg. I was like, yo, bro, I got to get my money. He's like, what? He's like, I already paid you. And I was like, what? I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, I already paid you, dude. And I was like, he's like, what do you mean you don't have? I was like, he's like, I gave you an envelope with all your money in it. And I was like, dude, what are you talking about? And he's like, check your pockets. And I checked my front pockets. I'm like, dude, you didn't pay me. He's like, I definitely paid you. And I checked my back pocket, and there's like a fucking envelope with $2,000 in my back pocket that I didn't even have any clue. And I was just like, my bad, bro. And I gave him a hug. I was like, happy birthday. And I haven't I haven't played Columbus since.
Like that dude.
Or no, I have. No, it wasn't Columbus. Was it? What's the other? Not Columbus. Cincinnati. It was Cincinnati, I think. No, yeah. It was Cincinnati. Because I did Columbus last year. But yeah, that's definitely not a. I was like, man, I bet you I have a whole bunch of them, but that's definitely not one that I really wanted to actually tell. But there you go. Long story short, there's going to be a lot of long story short stories like that went in Ohio. Yeah, I didn't lose it, so I was just like, oh man, and that's when I quit drinking vodka and Red Bulls.
Specifically, it's interesting. Arnie and I don't even drink. That's
Props.
probably the weirdest fact about us.
I mean, props. That it's actually a tough thing being in this industry as well, especially like, you gotta talk, be personable, like all that stuff is. I have mad respect for people that don't do that, because it's just in your face 24/7.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a little difficult
drink.
for us because we want to be like involved in like the after party stuff, but like our bedtime's like a hard 9 p.m., not 9 in the morning. So like we're just dreaming of our beds right around midnight. We're like thinking about crawling into bed and putting on a period piece movie and sleep.
It could be difficult though sometimes not drinking, but
Yeah,
but you know what? Like,
I mean, you're gonna live way longer than a lot of us. That's for sure.
and like it's also like going back to what we were talking about earlier. Like, we get to experience everything, and we're like right there, and we're not, we're not
Blacked out,
and we don't forget like some of our dopest shows. Like we're like right there. We're right there with fans, and like,
yeah, I love
like,
that.
it's pretty dope.
put it this way though, we lost our privilege to drink. We were not good boys when we were younger.
Yeah.
That way. A little reckless.
I mean, that happens, but I think that happens to everybody, and eventually, you to be smart about it. That's very admirable, because I definitely lost my privileges many times, and I'm still drinking, but but that's actually a goal for this year for me too. Is like, I'm one to take a big, huge break.
Yeah.
But that's good stuff to talk about too, man, because it's like also I think that gives people, whether you're in the crowd side of it or the DJ side of it or the management side of it, like there's the pressure and how bad that it's just advertised and pushed in your face, where it's almost like you got to be a strong motherfucker not to do that. So it's like I really appreciate that, and I think that we need more, let me say, like role models that are DJs that don't drink poison every night. Like that's like it's definitely an issue.
I mean, I used it to let go. Like because like I've had amazing DJ memories, and with drinking, it's just, I guess, productivity kind of came to a halt, and kind of lost myself, speaking for myself. But I don't know.
Well, that's definitely being a producer and being a DJ. That's probably one of the hardest things, is to come, even if you're touring, or if you're even just playing a local show that not that many people come out, and like still, you know, you're probably going to be drinking, and then the next day it's very hard to write music or to be productive or to just be normal in life if you're fucking
Yeah.
hungover all the time. So it's
Yeah.
like,
It's definitely helpful not to, for sure.
Yeah.
There are moments though where we wish there was that kind of like that social fluidity between people and stuff. And
I struggle from like, you know, social anxiety at times. And so,
that's
you
what
know,
it is.
like
It's a crutch.
yeah,
It's a
and back
crutch
in
for
the
that.
day, like I used to, you know, get loaded and that would help like in a second. You know what I mean? You go to a party, you get
You're like-
loaded, and you're fucking boom, what's up, motherfuckers? You know, like I'm here. And then and like now, like, you know, like it's something that I've had to get over and like work on. But like, you know, that's also one of the perks about being in a duo is that like that helps. Like we
Yeah,
have
hell
the
yeah.
here and like that'll help like just vibe out, you know,
You
without
got each other's back.
drugs and alcohol. Yeah. And
it's interesting because I was always like a bedroom producer, like a big dreamer, and I was never able to connect the dots until I stopped using substances.
mm-hmm.
Personally, for me, like, let me tell you, like, I learned software inside and out with drugs, and it was actually really helpful at a time. But I don't know, for like things actually started to happen, like signing the first track and actually being able to finish tunes once I was not doing substances, which is, I don't know, it's pretty dope. You know?
Man, I think that's such an amazing thing to point out too, because I think there's a lot of people that that's one of the most common things that people tell me since I've been producing myself, and even like when I used to teach at a school called Dubspot a long time ago, and everyone was just always like, I have such a hard time finishing tracks, and a lot of it is like, you know, don't get wasted for like a couple weeks and see how much progress that you will make in life in general, but especially in finishing music.
Yeah.
Bro, I couldn't finish shit when I was loaded.
Yeah.
But that's just me personally too.
I mean, I think that's a really good point. What about
Different for everyone though, you know?
true, very
That's
true.
true. You know, some people can function and do their thing and there's like
Props.
you know, like and everything in, you know, like in moderation too. You know, like some people can do it and succeed and are really good at what they do. Just not us, you know. So
Well, I mean, I definitely can vouch that like I think most people struggle with that, and it's like finding a balance. There's not really even such thing, but it's more like having the willpower not to do it is it's huge, man. I commend it. So I got another question. So Arnie, you were in some rock bands, right?
I was, yeah.
And that's the first part. Then I'm gonna ask the second one. So tell me a little bit about the rock bands that you were in.
All right, so this was like high school and part of like college. I started playing guitar when I was like really young. I was like 9 or something when I started playing guitar, really into rock music. And in high school, you know, I started meeting other kids and like was in bands, and like I was in a serious band like my junior and senior year of high school. And like by serious, I mean just we took it really seriously and we like wrote songs and we played shows. And I was also in like some punk rock bands playing guitar. I was playing drums in my other band. And like that was, I mean, that's where I started with music. And that's where I started with like performing.
What was your band
know,
called?
My first band was called the one like the I took seriously was called like Refrain, and it was like a 90s like grunge rock type sound, like Nirvana. Like we sounded a lot like Nirvana. And then the other band I was in was called Fallujah 71. And then that was like straight up just like punk rock, like old school punk rock though, like Misfits and like Circle Jerks and like stuff like that.
Hell yeah.
And then I actually transitioned like because where I went to college, I went to a music college, and with drums and stuff, I started playing
What
jazz
college you go
music.
to?
I went to Berkeley,
Oh,
Boston. So like I
didn't know that.
transitioned to jazz, and like I was trying to focus like on I wanted to be like a session musician. So like being the dude, like I was kind of like accepting over the fact that it's really difficult to be in a big touring rock band because it's like a dying breed. So my focus was like I'm gonna be a session guy, and then like I mean things change, and I
Shit,
also
you guys ever record drums to put in your tunes?
we've never done
We've
that
recorded
before.
guitar.
Guitar we've done, but not. I mean, that would be cool. I mean, it's always been like there's a low key kind of like a dream where like one day we'll
Live
play a
set.
show and like I'll bring the drum kit and we'll fucking go ham.
Yeah.
But like
Maybe one day.
that's difficult like at like a club.
You should
know
just
what
you should just get like some beat or like a MIDI pad that just has that magic tom at like all different pitches. And you can just fucking. So also, I heard that Taylor, you were a rapper as well.
Oh shit!
Damn. No.
Are we
no,
telling
no,
about
no.
gender?
I'm trying. My goal for this was to like get into like some Nardwar, like be like, oh shit, how the fuck did you know that? But
Dude,
I think
how did,
Yeah,
how
that's
did you know
crazy.
that, bro? That is kind of well. I don't know. I wouldn't exactly claim myself to be a rapper. My background is mobile DJing, locally in Santa Barbara. I did that for many years. That's how I made my money. And
you'd rap at weddings.
yeah, exactly. The wedding singer, actually. No, but Arnie and I. So in the beginning of the Arnold Lane project, we would also make other genres to kind of clear the palette. And we really like Suicide Boys and like Ghostman and Kuya, like kind of like the dark, like dirty trap music, like Bone Thugs style, 3-6, and we would make dirty trap beats and rap over them. And it was like an alias. I was Dirt Rigs.
Oh shit!
Cindy.
Oh yeah.
And you can actually find it in the depths of SoundCloud.
Yeah.
But we don't want to get canceled. If you hear the lyrics, bro, we're getting canceled.
Yeah, bro. Like it's shit's
So,
gnarly.
maybe if you guys dig hard enough, you'll find it. But we have like probably 25 tracks that are just
Oh shit!
gnarly rap music. But
Man, I bet you could go back and sample them and just pitch them around and make some fucking house bangers out of them too.
that's what we've done.
Yeah, we've recycled like
a
some
lot
of the
lyrics.
some of the lyrics, like the track.
I've been noticing a lot of your. It seems like a lot. You guys been doing a lot of lyric-y stuff that I thought was dope. I've been playing. Hell yeah.
Some of it comes from that
Sing-
project.
Sing
Like
Head's Gonna Split.
like Head's Gonna Split, our track with our boy
Reginald, previously
formerly
known as
as
Nico Bay,
Nico Bay. That verse in that track was
from Jindo.
I mean
Project.
it's like censored down a bit.
Oh yeah,
But like we took like that flow and the lyrics and kind of changed it around
How does
for
it go? Do it. Rap it right now. Fool.
dude, I don't even know it off the top of my
Rap,
head,
say
dude.
Top of the dome. What is that? A shaker?
Techno, grinding, pumping,
Bumping,
driving,
just without dough, yeah. Sitting back in that DJ booth, yeah.
Love dropping that shit. Crowd gonna flip. Head's gonna
See,
split.
he knows it better than me. I don't know. But yeah, like that's, I mean, the vocals and, the kind of rapping element is definitely a big part, like Taylor's really good at that. And I do it a little bit, but most of the vocals are him actually.
Hell yeah.
Like a few of them are me, but yeah, like the rapping is definitely like to take from that hip hop influence too.
All right, so I think I got one more question, and then we'll see if the chat has any more. Or hold on, what does it say? Taylor, do you use your vocals on the new tracks released this year?
Yeah.
Yep. You guys work normal jobs as well, or have you taken the leap to making a living solely for?
Normal. We're the day job warriors.
Man, that probably might have changed if COVID didn't happen, but
Yeah.
you guys, thank God, you guys are.
have the day job.
Have a job, yeah.
Bro,
we're very
super
grateful.
grateful, man.
Yeah,
You know,
and we love. I mean, Arnie doesn't love it as much as I do, but I love it.
our jobs are cool though, because we get to help people. Like that's a big part of our. We work in addiction treatment. So,
Oh shit.
So like that's
That's
there is a
amazing.
payoff, like a very rewarding payoff, and we're
It's
just
so dope.
we're really grateful to have that too. Because a lot of people don't have jobs right now. And
A lot of people
like,
don't help people either, so you got jobs and are helping people. That's fucking awesome.
yeah, man.
What about so what kind of music do you guys listen to alone? Like not house music or like not whatever, like what do you
I listen a lot. I was raised on like Steely Dan and Beatles and Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. I listen to a lot of classic rock.
Me
In the
too.
gym, I listen to a lot of like deep roller dub, like deep nutty shit, and like Geode and Komodo, like are one of my favorite artists of all time.
Hell yeah.
I think like
A lot of rap, a lot of hip hop, a lot of like weird indie music, like Little Dragon, and I mean just fucking everything. Really, besides country music.
I think like for me, like I definitely still listen to like a lot of bands, but I also like, you know, like I do listen to hip hop. I think like my top 5 Spotify this year, like number 1 was The Strokes.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Big fan of The Strokes and like that. I love like the 2000s
Fucking
rock.
Travis Scott.
Travis Scott was on there.
How did he get on there? I don't understand.
Well, no, my homie showed me Astroworld. I'm not a huge fan of the new rap coming out, but my homie showed me Astroworld.
Blew him away.
Nah, that
like,
dude's on next level shit.
I was like,
Yeah.
yo, this album's fucking crazy. And so like I like bumped that like savagely like the last 3 months of like 2020. But yeah, like The Strokes, I love rock, and like I have like a love for like Justin Timberlake,
Hell yeah.
Prince.
Hell yeah. Or like 2000s hip hop,
Yeah,
90s hip
2000s
hop.
hip hop. What else is like on my? Yeah, Alanis.
Your manager says Alanis Morissette.
We love like 90s fucking
alternative female artists, bro.
Alternative
like
female
Jewel,
artists.
Alanis Morissette, freaking Sheryl Crow.
all
Dude, we
bangers.
bump
them.
that,
dude.
in the
Hell
Bump
yeah.
that in the whip.
Man,
Like-
I mean, to be honest, my favorite genre of every kind of music there is basically is the 90s. Like especially like
bro.
mid 90s, like whether it's hip hop, radio music, or pop, top 40, jungle, house music, like every rock music, even like the commercial like Aerosmith shit, like everything was just fucking so good, and there was like fucking $100 million videos being shot for everything, and the beginning of the do it yourself, and like the what was it, the remember the presidents of the United States of America?
Yeah, that band was sick.
Millions of peaches. Wait, was that? No, that was different. Someone else. No, that was it, right?
I think
don't
that
know.
was them. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
all that
no.
kind of stuff was just like a different vibe. That's what I wanted to do on Twitch. Is I wanted to do like a fucking top 40 90s show, and I was just like, man, it's so hard to do something like that with major label music because it just they're looking for that to fuck you up.
Yeah.
But
Low key, I got a mad love for 80s hair metal too. Like
hell yeah, shit, fucking R.I.P.
80s, a lot of 80s.
Eddie
Man,
Van Halen. Bro.
Eddie Van Halen. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
Man, it's been
Phil Collins, bro. Yeah,
Dude.
he is the dopest too.
Toto.
I mean, those the gated reverb toms are
Yeah.
still fucking
Next level.
still
dude.
important, and excess.
We
Hell
bump, we
yeah.
bump Rosanna a lot.
Yeah, Rosanna by
That's
Toto is a
a lot.
banger, dude.
Yeah.
I don't even know. If I know that is that? That's Toto, right? Isn't that Toto?
No,
You can dance
that's-
if you want to.
Oh, that's Men at Work.
Oh, that's Men at Work. That's Men at Work.
No, Toto did that song, Rosanna. They did Africa,
Oh yeah. I
And they
have
did-
the Africa record.
and then Hold the Line. Hold the Line.
Dude, do you guys a favor and go on YouTube and watch all the music videos from the 80s? It is out of control.
Bro, Rick James,
That's-
Give It to Me, Baby, or whatever. That's one of the
Out of-
gnarliest music videos.
Out
I've
of
ever
control.
seen.
That's how we spend a lot of our weekends. Actually, we just
See, that's what I'm saying is you guys should just start a fucking Twitch show. That's why I believe that especially the Twitch, the live, you just have to delete the VOD at the end of it, and no one can ever watch it again because you can't upload it to YouTube. But which kind of makes it fucking cool to me. But like just playing favorite tunes, like that's what I do on the vinyl therapy nights, and that's just like we went through like 4 or 5 hours, and I was just playing random records that I didn't even know that I had, and I'm like, you people are still here, and there was still like 100 people strong, just like, what's the next fucking weird random record that we're gonna play, and like that's why I think that Twitch is so dope because you
Aren't
can
they cracking
DJ.
down, though?
They are, but man, I think I still have my 9-hour stream up now. I have a whole bunch of streams still up, and man, I just totally just jinx myself. But I think as long as you delete the VODs, I think that you're all good.
Okay, it's a little hack.
Yeah, we
I don't
definitely-
even know though, to be honest. I heard that now that they have the software that it can
Algorithm.
takes 2 seconds to identify a song, and then it just will cut you out, or you'll get the DMC fucking
And that's another reason why we became
or
discouraged.
DCMA.
Facebook almost fucking like canceled us.
Oh yeah, we had the issue with Facebook because that's where we first. Because when quarantine happened, we hopped on the live stream thing like super quick. We were like, let's just do it. We had like this ghetto rig, like right over here,
Taped
dude.
up
We
on
had
the
like our
wall,
phone
like, with
taped on
rubber
the
bands
wall,
and shit.
like just super ghetto. And we were going on
I like it.
Facebook. That was how we streamed. And like eventually Facebook hit us up and was
They're
like,
like,
yo. I mean, they were like, yo, like you guys.
You're
they're
going against
basically,
community
they
guidelines, and we're gonna
they
block your
threat-
shit.
They threatened, like we got threatened from for like they
We're
might
gonna
like
delete
delete our
it.
page, and
Yeah.
so that's when we moved to Twitch, and we were streaming like somewhat consistently for a little bit, and like I think our show the show that we did is we called it movie night, and so we would take like movie clips of our favorite movies and
Oh shit!
play them in the background, and
Yeah.
that was super fun.
Yeah.
And we should probably bring that back at some point. But
Well, I think that's the big fight. That's what they're supposedly sneaking in this COVID bill, is that all this really bad stuff about streaming, and it's almost like Disney versus Amazon. So
yeah,
they're like, and Amazon doesn't really seem to give a shit about Twitch, which is the funny thing, is they're like,
Yeah.
they bought the company. Like YouTube spent like crazy millions of dollars to figure out their interface now, that like where you can upload a DJ set, but it's going to give you the option to mute things that you don't have the rights to,
Yeah.
and so you don't get your account deleted, and you don't get a takedown strike or anything like that. Twitch, they started the soundtrack thing, and I haven't seen it. I have no idea if it's even working. I even sent them all this holy moly stuff where I was like, you guys can use all this stuff, and I don't even know if anyone's actually using it. So hopefully Twitch and Amazon figure out a solution to this problem, because it's just like it's such an important thing, especially now that we can't go to a club. It's like, man, not only just good for them, as there's so many people streaming and listening to music and stuff, but there has to be a legal workaround. It's just about like getting down to it and figuring it out, and putting up a lot of money to figure it out, probably.
it's also too like this has become a source of income for people who are streaming who
Yeah.
can't tour. You know, like people who have,
Yeah.
you know, there's a lot of people who are making money off Twitch, you know, monetization.
It's hard to make money off Twitch. Like I streamed almost 60 fucking hours last week, and like you and it's a new, and I think that's why I like it too, is just like this unknown beast for me. You know, if you were a gamer or whatever, you've probably been Twitch streaming for a long time, but
Yeah.
for me it's this unknown beast that now if I want to, I can make my background. I could be DJing in Miami, or I could be DJing in Alaska, or I could be
Yeah, you
DJing.
crushed it, dude. Your setups are dope.
But if you look at my setup, it's like really bootleg, and like it's definitely grown over the time. But like when I first started streaming, I was just like idea. I was like, oh shit, I just found like this YouTube video of a boat, and somehow I like made it so it looked like I was in the boat, and then I had a red. We were in lockdown, so there's nowhere we could go except for the grocery store downstairs, and the only thing they had was a red plastic tablecloth. So I taped that up to both sides of my girl's apartment, and she thankfully let me take over her living room in a 1-bedroom apartment. I couldn't go home because my roommate had COVID, and then someone else brought me decks because I couldn't even go get my own decks. So I put like an APB out on Facebook, and shout out Mary Lindsay. She brought me like decks and set it up, and it was just like super ghetto. We didn't have any lights, so I couldn't, and my computer was shit, so I could only do a JPEG maybe. But since then, you know, I'm just like obsessed with it. I'm like, oh, this could be dope. I want to do doper and doper, and now I want to talk to the homies. And
a new level of creativity too that came with this streaming thing, especially for artists. And like,
but to be honest, I haven't been finishing music at all. Like I've been trying to finish music, and I've been like, and I built a new studio as I moved and all that. I finally have my own studio, and like, but so much of my time goes into streaming.
Yeah.
But it's also like that's what I enjoy doing it, and I enjoy the couple more crew and like all of this. So it's like this is a new outlet that it's like new uncharted territory, and it's like, man, you know, I've been making music for a long time, so I still always want to be music and always will be making music, but this is like,
it's good though, because there's only a handful of like independent artists that are capitalizing on it, and I think you're one of the few that are doing a really good job, so you might as well run it, you know?
well, I hope to eventually capitalize on it, but man, it's like so many people are doing it. It's just it's
a grind, man.
Yeah.
It's one of those things I think we were talking about last time too, where it's like if in music in general, if you pay attention, if you worry about, if your focus becomes the numbers, and you're not worried about like having fun, the content that you're creating, and you're too focused on like how many people are watching, how many subscribers you got, how many, same thing with like Spotify, how many people are listening to your Spotify, how many people bought your Beatport like I think if you just focus on making dope art, then all that other stuff just falls into place. And if you focus on too much, then it takes away and you never get to the place you actually want to go.
Yeah, and that's where we're at right now, for sure.
But you got, man, we probably gotta actually wrap this up soon, but like you guys genuinely, I've been playing the shit out of your music this year, and I think you guys are in a really dope place, and I hope that you guys keep cranking out tunes, and you know, I'm really looking forward to Them Shoes is fucking dope, and that one comes out on the Winter Fresh compilation this Friday on Holy Moly. We get a nice set from you guys tomorrow on Dirty Bird.
Oh yeah.
I just want to shout out all the couple more crew for tuning in.
Yeah, thank you all of you guys.
Thank you everyone for the questions too.
Yeah, super interactive chat, and we appreciate you, dude. Putting us on, but you believe in us. It really means a lot to us, dude, because we need all the help we can get right now. And like,
oh shit, we all do, man. Everybody does, and that's why it's like there's the playing the playing field is fucking leveled. Just like what you're saying earlier, where it's like whether you're a big DJ, a small DJ, producer, whatever it is, everybody has a Twitch, everyone has Instagram, and everyone has access to basically everybody now if you really, really try. So, you know, those that are still grinding and doing their thing and being like, yo, we do this because we love to do it, and we're going to even do it when our jobs are fucked up, the pandemic's happening, people are sick, and it's like, it's almost like an essential worker. Not comparing DJs to essential workers at all, so don't take that the wrong way, but that's still very important for people to get through this kind of stuff and take your mind off stuff, is making dope music and DJing and also just talking about life and being like, hey, shit, that fucked up shit happens to me too. And like, we're all humans. We're not just to me, that's one of the best things about the pandemic too. It's like we've all been humbled pretty seriously here. And we're all humans. We all bleed red, and we all are connected through music, and it's a beautiful thing. So we got to keep it moving, keep it rocking, or
We're all in this together.
yeah, 100%. We're all in this together.
Yeah.
So before I'm gonna end with your guys' new one that comes out Friday, but before we do, is there anything you guys want to say or plug or anything before we wrap it up?
I guess I just want, on my end, I just thank you to everyone who has been, you know, supporting us during these times. Thank you to all the homies as well. You know, our team, you know, we're on a really awesome team. So shout out Silent Machine.
Man, big shout out Silent Machine.
And I mean, just everyone in the chat, you know, and all the homies who are listening to our tunes, and it means the world. Shout out that for sure.
Ditto. All of our listeners, everybody in the chat, codes, the homies.
Man, shout out, guys. Yeah, everybody, sending love to everybody. Everything's gonna be all right. This is just another, you know, I almost feel like I'm taking advantage of the need to get away, to the need to escape from fucking life and reality and politics and all the just and the news and all the whack shit that's going on. So like, you know, I personally want to thank you guys for coming on the show, and then all the chat as well, because I think that I would be in a really bad place without all of you guys. So it's like it's important. We make music, we play music, we share music, and we're all fucking humans here.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna play one more. I'm gonna play Them Shoes, Arnold and Lane, coming out this Friday on the Holy Moly Winterfresh comp. I'm gonna actually throw a link in the chat for that as well, for the pre-order. Shit, thank you guys. Big ups for coming through.
Oh yeah.
Send me some new tunes to play. Keep cranking them out. And that was definitely one long story short. Peace, guys.
That was dope, man.
Oh yeah. Thank you.
Much love, crew. Peace, peace, peace. I'm a take you guys out of here, and then I'm going to play one more tune, or maybe I'll play a couple more. I don't even know. Who knows? Crew.
Yeah.
It's my tune. Crew. Man, big shout out to Arnold Lane for coming through on the show. Crew. This one also comes out Friday in the same compilation. Done, we're gonna have. That's okay. That'd be crazy. That's okay. My mind's playing anyway. 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 I never have a thing say. That's okay. Alright, so I'll see you guys next Wednesday, this Wednesday, tomorrow. Today, if you're on the East Coast. That's okay. For a couple more over on Dirty Bird. 8 p.m. That's okay. California time. 9 p.m. Mountain time. That's okay. 10 p.m. Central Time. 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's okay. My mind's playing anyway. Appreciate you guys tuning in. That's crew. That's okay. My mind's playing anyway. I never had a thing say. That's okay. So next week. That's okay. That's okay. My mind's playing anyway. That's okay. My mind's playing anyway. We got a big compilation coming out Friday. Arnold Lane, Them Shoes. They'll join. I played before this. I'm gonna post a link in the chat. That's okay. My mind's playing anyway. Android, appreciate the subscribe. That's okay. My mind's playing anyway. That's okay. My mind's playing anyway. Yeah, there's a way better chance for me to play your music if you're subscribed to my channel. That's all I'll say to that. That's okay. My mind's playing anyway. There's a lot of people that come in here that they request. I never had a thing to say. If you subscribe, you have a way better chance for anything that you ask. Support is a two-way street. Anyway. I love you guys. Big up. That's okay. Should we raid Luke? Anyway. Should we raid Lucati Skywalker? That's okay. My mind's playing anyway. I never had a thing to say. Man, thank you everyone tuning in. We're going to be doing this at least once a week, I think. Next Wednesday, I have Kasmalia. as a special guest on a couple more. So I'm gonna ask her. Maybe she'll do it. If not, we'll get someone else. Either way, this is just the beginning of some cool shit. Pick up the couple more crew. Let's go drop some couple more on Ducati.